So I think when you have depression, I think it's almost that thing of like, you want to believe that, yeah, it's gone forever. But actually, even if it does come back, it doesn't mean that you haven't done the work. It doesn't mean that you're
Right. Doesn't mean you're a
failing.
failure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely not. Like, life is hard and we are human and we are going through a human experience. And there are so many things in this world that can leave us traumatized or create these limiting beliefs and fears. Like, we just, we've almost got to like ride that wave. And I think for me, I just see it as that part of my shadow self. And, I love that part of me where I'm like, that's part of my story. That's part of my evolution. There's no shame in that. There's no blame in that. It just is.
Everybody, I'm Dougall Fraser. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited you're here. Hey, before we get started, if you are enjoying these interviews, please click like and subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. One of the things that I'm loving about this channel is meeting spiritual teachers all around the world, and I am so excited about my guest today. My guest today is an award-winning life coach and mentor. She's the host of the Spiritual Queen's Badass podcast, which I love that title. She's a speaker, a law of attraction YouTuber. She's also author of 2 books. Her first book was Spiritual Queen, and her second most recent book is called Positively Wealthy. Please welcome my guest, Emma Mumford. Emma, how are you?
Hi, Dougall. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm so excited you're here. We met through social media and I sort of fell in love with you and did a deep dive on YouTube. I'm a little obsessed, not stalker material, but I'm thoroughly loving your work and just so excited that you're here.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, we were introduced through our good friend George. I found you through his channels and I was like, oh my God, I love everything Dougall's about. And I'm really into colors as well. So I'm so excited for you to come on my podcast as well.
I know, I can't wait to do that next month. And so it's interesting, Emma, because if you don't mind, one of the things that I wanted to start out with and what really got my attention is you talk about your spiritual awakening being connected to a struggle with depression, which I've worked with depression and anxiety in my life. It's been an issue I've managed for a long time. And I find a lot of times in the spiritual and new age community, it's a little bit of like a taboo topic where people don't really talk about it a lot. And you're really, really open about it. And it just really resonated with me. So I was wondering if we could begin with that, because especially in this bonkers world we're in right now, I think a lot of people can connect with that. So I was hoping you could talk a little bit about your journey.
Of course, yeah, and I absolutely agree with all of that. And I think so basically my depression started around 8, 9 years ago. So I'm 28 and it was around sort of 1920. It sort of came in. And at the time I was in a very different space in my life. I was in a not so great relationship at the time. I was working as a personal banking manager in one of the UK's leading banks. So very different to what you see me doing today. And, it was a great career. It was a great job. It was sort of like, I've made it now. Everyone's going to be proud of me. Yeah, I was just so unhappy inside, going into work every day and putting people in debt. And then the boyfriend I was with at the time, I took out a loan for £7,000 to help him out because I got preferential rates as obviously working for them. And we then split up and, he didn't pay a single penny of that. So at the age of 20, I had £7,000 worth of debt in my name. No idea how to clear this. I had to leave my banking job and go part-time because, I had to look after my mental health more than anything. And, I was having anxiety attacks. I couldn't go into work. When I was in work, I was having panic attacks and thinking I was, when you have them, it's quite scary. You'll probably know this as well, Dougal. Like, you think you're having a heart attack or something and you think, what's happening? I'm dying. So, I wasn't able to just sit there and work away. So it was really a case of, I just was not able to even leave the house sometimes. So in my darkest days, I couldn't leave the house. I was really struggling and obviously clearing that debt as well. So it was, quite a few contributing factors that caused it at that point. And, I really didn't, should we say, love myself. I didn't know what self-love was. I didn't have a great relationship with myself. And obviously now here I can see the kind of like trauma and limiting beliefs that were underneath that. But obviously at the time I had no idea of any of that or anything I could work on to be positive or happy. So after that relationship kind of broke up, I moved back in with my parents at the time, worked on clearing the debt and started my first business, which is Again, very different to what you see me do today.
I
So
know.
I
I love that you were in banking. When I look at your career trajectory, first of all, you're clearly an amazing manifester, which we'll get into because just about every vision you've really turned into your reality. But it's
Mm.
amazing to me, like the lifetimes that you've gone through already connected to your career.
Yeah, it's so true. And when I started my first business, again, complete fluke, complete accident, never, thought, oh, I'm going to start a business. It was just in probably the worst time of my life as well. It wasn't, I think people tend to think that their purpose or even, success can come when they're in their, living their best life. But actually, this was the worst time, the worst part
Yeah.
of my life, if I'm honest. So as I was clearing that debt, I found couponing, extreme couponing, which is a massive um, massive tradition in America. And here in the UK, it wasn't big at all at that point. We watched the show on TLC, but yeah, couponing was not a thing over here in the UK. And for me, I just really became almost fixated with it. It was something which really helped my mental health. It kept me focused. It helped me clear my debts. So it really just became a passion of mine. So my friends kind of bullied me into starting a Facebook page and were like, come on, you need to share this with people. You're really good. I had like a stockpile in my spare room, everything. And, within 6 months, it had like 500,000 followers, my page. The press in the
Wow.
UK nicknamed me Coupon Queen. I was going on daytime TV here in the UK this morning with Holly and Phil presenting. It was just madness. I'd gone from, and again, I was still living with this anxiety and depression at the time. Like, it wasn't like it magically disappeared. I went to therapy. I did hypnotherapy. I did CBT. I even took antidepressants, and nothing was really giving me that, I guess, fulfillment or that kind of cure as such. So I kind of just battled with it in the background and just kind of managed it as well as I could with the tools I had and, what the healthcare system here in the UK was supporting me with as well. But none of these things were working for me or really resonating. So fast forward a little bit. And in 2016, so a couple of years later, at the end of my second bad relationship, I had this really successful business. It was a six-figure business. It was doing incredible. And, I had this amazing career, which people must have looked at me and thought, Emma's got it all. She's got a house, she's got a relationship, she's got this successful business. But really, I was even worse at this point, to the point I was contemplating suicide, and to this
Mm.
point where, even I didn't recognize myself at that point. I thought, surely, like, that's not me. Like, I'm this happy, happy, cheery person. Like, I can't be having suicidal thoughts.
Mm.
And when that relationship broke down, quite abruptly, it was quite an emotionally abusive relationship, that one. Like, it was a breaking point for me where I thought, I'm either going to have to end my life or change my life. And I knew
Mm.
I wouldn't take my life. I knew that was not the path I wanted to go down, or that I couldn't do that. So I really thought, right, it was almost like that surrender moment where I remember it was like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I was looking out of the window and I was just feeling so helpless. And I was just like, universe, God, help me. And I just don't know where those words came from, because I wasn't Christian. I wasn't really religious. I was probably quite an atheist at that point, just because I felt like, well, where was God? Like, all these things happened. Where
All
was
of these
he?
challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, where was the support? Where was the miracles as such? But the miracles did come. When I asked, I received. And 5 days later, I came across the law of attraction. And, I think mental health's a really important conversation, because over the years, as I've, found self-help, found law of attraction, absolutely, I've been able to transform my life around. And holistically, I believe I had a spiritual depression. That's not the case for everybody. Definitely,
Right.
100% people have chemical imbalances, 100%. But for me, I felt it was a spiritual depression where I wasn't honoring myself. I wasn't being authentic to myself. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what self-love was. So when I found all these tools, my life did change around, and really quickly as well. So to the point where now, here, 6 years later, I do live in a space where I don't have panic attacks. I don't have anxiety. I don't have depression anymore. There are periods, like we all go through, where we feel, oh, is that, depressive phase coming up again? But I think in the world we live in, and especially what we've all been through the last few years, I think it's been really tough for everybody, where everybody sort of thought, wow, like, what am I feeling here?
Yeah, it's interesting to me because one of the blessings of the pandemic, if I can say that, is I think it's made us really go into our emotional bodies and in our heart. And if there was any lingering emotion, whether it's anxiety or
Mm.
depression or changing your career or relationship status, it just sort of really brought it to the surface. You speak about depression from such a neutral space, like as an observer. And I find that really
Mm.
interesting because a lot of times when people speak about depression, they act like they're running from it or they're afraid of it or they don't want it to happen again. There's this neutral energy that sort of manifests when you speak about it that I find really admirable. Are you doing that consciously? Like, have you sort of negated the fear, or is that just sort of a subconscious thing?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, now you say it, I do see it definitely, but I don't think I've ever sort of really thought about it too deeply. I guess when you were just saying that, for me, it really brought up the shadow work, the inner work. And I feel
Mm.
like because I've done so much inner work over the last 6 years and I've really had to face my demons, I've had to face every single thing that was underneath that depression, every single thing that was under that anxiety, and look at my patterns and look at my traits and look at, my traumas and my limiting beliefs and fears that were all lingering underneath that. I guess because I've been able to sit in that space and do that inner work and that shadow work that for me, it doesn't scare me anymore because I see it as part of me. And I'm like, okay, that may happen again. People who are prone to depression can absolutely be prone to postnatal depression as well. So I
Mm.
guess in my head, I've always thought, well, when I have children one day, that could happen and that
Mm.
could be a possibility. And if it happens, I'll deal with it at that point. I know the tools, I know the resources, I have the support around me. So I think when you have depression, I think it's almost that thing of like you want to believe that, yeah, it's gone forever. But actually, even if it does come back, it doesn't mean that you haven't done the work. It doesn't mean that you're
Right. Doesn't mean you're a
failing.
failure. Yeah.
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 No, definitely not. Like life is hard and we are human and we are going through a human experience. And there are so many things in this world that can leave us traumatized or create these limiting beliefs and fears. Like we just, we've almost got to like ride that wave. And I think for me, I just see it as that part of my shadow self. And, I love that part of me where I'm like, that's part of my story. That's part of my evolution. There's no shame in that. There's no blame in that. It just is.
So let's sit with that because I love shadow work. And again, in the new age community, there is sometimes toxic positivity. And
Mm.
sometimes when I'm around other spiritual people and I'll say, well, let's take a look at our shadow sides. Like, what are our fears? What's going on right now? I feel like people look at me like I'm inviting those things into the conversation or manifesting them. I don't see it that way at all. It's
No.
kind of like the way you talk about inner child work too. I love inner child work. So occasionally I have to be like, oh, is young Dougal completely freaking out right now? Does he think he's not good enough? Is he worrying about all of these things? And I think keeping that a part of your spiritual practice on a daily basis is really important. I love
Mm.
crystals, I love candles, but they can't solve like deep inner work. Do you know what I mean?
I wish they could, Dougal.
I do too. It would certainly make my mornings a lot easier.
Absolutely. I think we'd all be living our best lives instantly if they did. And they're
Yeah,
great, they're great aids, definitely. I don't just want to be like they don't work. They do. They
of
definitely
course
do
they
work.
do. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
But they're more kind of that helpful companion rather than the answer or the fix as such, definitely. But no, I completely agree with the toxic positivity. And I think the law of attraction has a lot in it as well. So when I first came across the law of attraction back in 2016 now, something which is very often taught is like you must not think negative thoughts, you must not think, otherwise it's going to manifest.
Right.
And then you kind of just live and you're like, oh my God, something's going to manifest. What's going on? Don't think bad thoughts, positive thoughts,
Although
positive thoughts.
Abraham says we're allowed to think them for 30 seconds. So then I time myself. So
Yeah.
I got 30 seconds.
And I just think, I get what they're trying to say, but I just think that, life's just not that simple. And I think a lot of these teachings were also, written like 16 plus years ago, right? And I think energy works very differently now. And I think we're all just in a very different space as a consciousness, as a collective as well. So really, what was happening for me when I was doing that was I was just suppressing it all down. So whenever there would be like a persistent thought or a persistent whatever, I'd be like, don't think bad thoughts, happy things, happy things. And then it would just get louder and louder and
Yes.
more persistent until I was like, it's haunting you almost, and you're like, what's happening? Like, what, I'm so positive, what's happening? So I think there's so much focus on being high vibe and love and light, but I truly believe that to truly be love and light, you have to have gone through the darkness. You've had to have gone through that shadow to really, it's the yin, the yang, the feminine, the masculine, winter, summer. It's that polarity energy. Like, we have to embrace that we have that. And it's nothing to fear. It's nothing to shame. It's just a part of us. And it's just a part that needs that love from us as well. So really, to be that authentic love and light, to truly be in a high vibe place, we have to also, witness that we have polarity, and that we're not always, every day is not going to be perfect. Every day is not going to be our best day. But
Right.
actually, on those bad days, on those stormier days, we can truly appreciate the blessings in our life. We can truly learn what happiness and joy is from experiencing, maybe the opposite of that. So when I truly sat with my emotions and my feelings and my thoughts, instantly the power dissolved, because instead of, ignoring its existence and shutting it out, I realized this was my inner child just trying to communicate with me. So when I sat there and I was like, okay, I see you, I hear you. What is this thought? And instantly it would, disempower, and instantly the intensity would come down, because you're witnessing it and you're sitting with it. So I think even something as simple as that can be really, transformational for people, because I get messages all the time of like, oh, I'm having these persistent thoughts and I'm really worried it's going to manifest. And we just don't live in a world of instantaneous manifestation. Otherwise
No.
it would be chaos.
Right, right, right. It would be completely overwhelming. I love the way you talk about manifesting. I love the way you talk about energy. I have to say, I also watched one episode on YouTube where you were interviewing Marianne Williamson, who I am obsessed with. So immediately I was like, I have to watch that. And I've been in the presence of Marianne, and I say the presence of her because her presence is so big. And we even were speakers at an event together, but I'm like so intimidated by her. Your interview was so amazing. When you are working with thought leaders and people that have been in our world for a long time, does your inner child get insecure? Because I was watching you and I thought, she is killing this interview. Like, she's doing such a good job. I would have been a nervous wreck. What were your feelings during that talk?
It's so interesting because people ask me this all the time, Dougal. And I tell you what, there's an interview which I did. So there's this guy in the UK called Example, Elliot Gleave, who's like my favorite rapper, my favorite music artist. I've loved him since I was like 14 years old. And, I've had the privilege of meeting him at his tours, as being his ultimate fan, of course. And I've been to like all of his tours, all of his gigs. And, he's such a lovely, approachable man as well. So when I asked him to come on my podcast, I was like, there's no way this is going to happen. And he messaged back and was like, yeah, I'd love to. And like, he's like, I'm actually really spiritual, so I'd actually love to do that. So
Ooh, cool.
that was the one interview that I was like, because it's like your idol, and you're just there like,
Right.
oh my God, like I've met this man so many times before, but now I have to be professional and now I have to hold it together. So I think Elliot's interview was definitely one I was I think I did well to keep my cool, but inside I was like, oh my God. Like,
Which is fun at the same time. Do you know what I mean? To like let your inner child have that moment. There's something really sweet about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it was really nice to talk to him from a spiritual perspective as well, because I'd never had that opportunity before. So it was really intriguing. But I've been so lucky and privileged to interview people like Wim Hof, Young Puello, Marianne Williamson, Gabby Bernstein. All of these have been my kind of spiritual idols that I've read their books. Their books have helped me along my journey. But I don't know what it is. Like, I just feel calm around them. And I think it's just because I think a lot of them are very approachable. Like, they're not very like diva-ish, or do you know what I mean? Like, they're not, should we say, pedestaling themselves. So I think because they're just so, I mean, Marianne Williamson was talking to me about her favorite chocolate. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is some of me. Like,
Right.
this is a girl after my own heart here. So I think
Right.
because she was just so approachable, and her daughter as well, India, literally lives down the road from me. So she was like, oh my God,
Oh.
I have to set you up. So I think she was just so lovely, and her energy was just so nice, and just someone you could talk to so easily, that they kind of just put you at ease, I think.
Well, it's interesting too because you're interviewing people that you looked up to, you're reading their books, and you're becoming equals with them. And I have to say, as a spiritual teacher, like just watching some of your videos, there was so much information that really made me think. and especially your stuff and your approach to manifesting. You have one thing, and I want to make sure I say it correctly. I was watching a video where you talk about in manifesting, needing nothing attracts everything. And my husband, David, and I were watching it, and we both went, huh. And I had to pause it for a second, and I was like, no, go rewind. I was like, go back. I need to hear that again. So talk to me a little bit about that, because it triggered me in like all the positive ways, but it really, really stuck with me.
And it's definitely going to appeal to us 90%ers who are, I mean, I'm Virgo sun sign. I don't know what your star sign is, Dougal.
I'm a Taurus, of course. This is why we need to hang out as often as
Exactly.
possible. I love a Virgo.
So for us, like especially, and I know our good friend George is exactly the same. We have conversations about this all of the time, that we're just like doers. We go out and we achieve. So with manifestation, we're very much like, no problem, we'll make it happen. Whereas, that's not what law of attraction is. It's a co-creation process. So for me, along my journey, I was very much going like 90% of the way instead of 50% of the way. So I was like, I'll make this happen, no problem. And the universe was like, no, Emma, you're going to learn to surrender. You're going to learn to heal your controlling nature. And you're going to learn.
So, I mean, control is my middle name. I love some control.
Amen. So literally, like, my biggest lessons along my manifesting journey have been surrendering, control, letting go, going with the flow, like really just, even letting go of the outcome as well. So I first heard that from Rob Mack. He came on my podcast a couple of years ago and said it. And I was like exactly what you said, like hit home. And I was like, wow. And it really got me thinking, because I thought, okay, let's think about like the biggest manifestations of my life. Let's think about all the things I've manifested over the years. And I realized that every single big manifestation, and little, but big specifically manifestation that came into my life, happened when I was doing the least, living my life, being present, and not needing it. And I thought, this is a really interesting concept here, like really interesting. And also this year, it was repeated to me in two massive manifestations I've been wanting for years and having no luck with. And me and my friend was talking about this, and she's a Virgo as well. So like we have these Virgo to Virgo conversations where we're like, right, let's be honest with each other. What's happening? What are we doing wrong? Let's fix this.
Right.
And, we were saying like, we're just doing so much. We're doing the inner work, we're healing, we're, looking after ourselves, we're like showing up, helping our audiences, etc. Like, what is the problem? We're, we're masters at manifestation. What is the problem here? And we realized, and again, we were saying like, let's just think back to our biggest manifestations. And we realized we weren't going to healing sessions every week. We weren't like, doing every manifestation technique under the sun. We were actually just living our life.
Yeah.
And we were so happy and so just present and in the moment and fulfilled that we kind of just let go of that attachment. We were kind of like, yeah, of course I want that thing, but you know what? I don't need it. It's not a desperation. It's not like this is, going to save my life, or this is, I have to have this thing. It was just like, do you know what? Yeah, that'd be cool. But actually, if it doesn't happen, I'm really happy and fulfilled with where I am now. So I love that phrase because it's so true, because every controller is going to be triggered by that, because they're going to be like, what do you mean doing nothing attracts everything? Or what do you mean needing nothing attracts everything?
I had two memory when you said it. I had two things come up. The first one for me was when I sold my first book, the first literary agent I ever had. I desperately wanted it. And I remember being in those meetings and being like, if I get this, I'll feel confident, my life will be complete. And we got so many rejection letters. I joked that I could have wallpapered my house with them, like so many rejection letters. And then I thought it was never going to happen. And another agent came to me like a year later, same book. I hadn't changed anything but the way that I was approaching it. And that book went into auction with multiple people, multiple publishers bidding for it. And I thought, what's the difference here? And the difference was I wasn't coming from a desperate space. My ego didn't need it. I was busier with other things. I was creatively engaging in other ways versus waiting for this one thing to make me feel like a creative person.
Yeah.
And then recently with my current life, like things have been really nice and natural for me. I don't have to work hard. There isn't like a tremendous amount of stress, and I'll have like guilt about it sometimes. The controlling part of me is like, get up early, work hard, blood, sweat, and tears. And I sort of have to give myself the space for, I'm allowed to have like a lovely day and things will manifest. It doesn't have to be out of this sense of urgency. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I think as well, it's a very societal thing, isn't it? Of like this kind of pressure and timeline, no matter what it is, whether it's, to settle down and to have a family, whether it's to graduate university, whether it's to have your dream career, your purpose, whether it's to have a book deal, achieve all your goals. And I definitely feel like I fell into that trap. And this is actually what inspired me to write Positively Wealthy, that, I fell into this trap of comparison of like, well, everybody else is doing everything, so I need to do all these things. And you know
Oh,
what I mean?
I'm
I've
looking at everybody else's paper in class. I'm like looking at your desk. I'm totally guilty as charged. I totally
so
get that.
true, right? And I'm 28 years old now, and I'm like, Emma, don't get me wrong, you've like slayed the last few years, but also, like you've achieved every single goal you've wanted to achieve. Like you have your entire life. And
Mm,
I think we forget that, don't we? We're kind of like, no, I must do this now. I must release this book. I must do this. I must do that. I must have that. And it's like, I actually have this tattooed on me. It was a quote that I came across when I was 18 on a TV show, and it stuck with me through thick and thin, really. And it says, nothing before its time,
mm,
everything in time. And
mm.
I've lived that. I've definitely lived that. It's sometimes you're just like impatient and you're like, I don't want to live by that quote. I want everything now. But actually,
Right.
in hindsight, there is divine timing. And I've realized that, actually when I wanted things wasn't the right time for those things and I wasn't ready. Whereas actually the universe knew better, and the universe knew the perfect time to bring those things into my life when I was in a place to receive them,
Mm,
and when I was in a place to, sustainably keep them as well. And, like, enjoy them from a healthy space where I'm not going to sabotage. I'm not going to, project fears or limiting beliefs or whatever, whatever the situation is onto those things. So actually, you know, with those quotes, with that needing nothing attracts everything, it really does come down to that ultimate surrender to the universe of saying, like, you've got this. Like, I don't need to push. I don't need to stress. I don't need to do anything but be myself to receive.
mm. And what a perfect example you are of that. I mean, started as a banker, who would have guessed? Then became known as like the major coupon queen, who would have guessed? And now it's involved into this like beautiful spiritual and life coaching work. You still see people, you still work with private clients, right?
Yeah. So I still do one-to-ones. I have my manifestation membership, which is a group coaching setting. So yeah, I love working with people. And it's just so interesting how money's followed me throughout my life. Again, totally unintentional, never was interested in money. It's not like I was like, I want a career in finance. Nope, definitely not. The complete opposite. And it's just kind of followed me around. So obviously I help you with the law of attraction and spirituality. But it's interesting because when my spiritual book came out in 2019, we hired a psychic for the little book launch party we did back in the day when we had in-person events. And seems so long ago now.
Doesn't it?
And she's like, Emma, you realize your next book's going to be on money? And I was like, this woman's just Googled me. Like, there is no way my next book is going to be on money. And here we are. My next book was on money, but in spiritual senses and looking at wealth.
And I have to say, I just think this is the beginning for you as an intuitive person. I mean, I love listening to you talk. Your energy radiates. I think you're doing
Oh,
really, really beautiful work. I
thank you.
know people are going to want to read and find out more about you. How can people get in touch with you? What's the best way for them to reach you? Give us all your information.
Course. So you can, of course, come and find me on my website, emmamumford.co.uk. And, I'm on all social media platforms. So please come on over and say hi. I love chatting to you guys. And I have tons and tons of free resources on the law of attraction, spirituality, manifestation, inner child work. I have a YouTube channel as well, a podcast. You can find it all at I Am Emma Mumford.
Emma, I'm absolutely delighted to meet you. I know we're going to become friends. I'm super excited to be on your podcast next month. And if I can say, just don't change a thing. Do exactly what you're doing. I think it's beautiful. I think you radiate, and it's been really lovely having you here today. Thank you so much for coming and
Aw.
letting me interview you.
Thank you so much, Dougal. Honestly, it's been so much fun. Thank you.
My pleasure. Everybody, if you want to get more information, don't forget to check out Emma Mumford's books and her website. Thanks for being here. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.